Everyone's talking about tariffs. Here's some of the questions you've submitted to us. From Thomas, the Constitution of the United States posits in Article 1, Section 8 that the Congress shall have the power to lay and collect taxes, duties, imposts, and excises. So why is Trump imposing these tariffs without Congress? That's a great question, one we're hearing a lot. In fact, even though this is in the Constitution, as you note, the Congress has passed 6 laws since then that shift more of this power to the White House. And so President Trump is trying to take advantage of that and impose tariffs without any congressional input. This is what's allowing him to do these things so quickly in such an across-the-board fashion and push the limits of the law in the way they've never been pushed before. So even though the Constitution does give this power to Congress, Congress has given some of this power back to the White House, and this is what's making it easier for Trump to proceed. Next question from Douglas. How and where will we see a legal challenge to the tariffs? And with massive financial disruption, when do we expect Republicans to look ahead to midterms and distance themselves from Trump's tariff strategy? Those are 2 great questions. First of all, we are already starting to see some legal challenges, and we expect there to be more lawsuits filed, particularly from business groups, because businesses are the ones that have to pay these taxes when they import products from all over the world, particularly from China. So the lawsuits have begun. They're going to intensify, and quite frankly, they're probably going to move quickly, not just into the federal courts, but to the Supreme Court, because these tariffs and the costs are going to be imposed immediately. In terms of the political cost on Republicans, so far Republican leaders have made clear that they're going to give Trump some time. They believe this is part of a negotiating strategy that's going to give him more leverage with other countries. But we are starting to see, particularly some Republicans who are up for re-election in the Senate in 2026, some real concern and anxiety, and there might be some votes in Congress in the next few weeks where they can send a clear signal to the White House and to their voters that they do not support this strategy. Finally, from Richard, who is advising President Trump? Really great question. He has several economic advisors, not all of whom are on the same page, clearly. You have Elon Musk openly criticizing Peter Navarro, who is one of President Trump's top trade advisors. Howard Lutnick, the Commerce Secretary, is the trade czar and the person who's supposed to be in charge of a lot of this. But at the end of the day, this all comes back to President Trump. He has had these strong views about trade and tariffs since the 1980s. He telegraphed during the entire 2024 election that he was going to impose aggressive tariffs across the board, especially, as he said, on Europe, Canada, Mexico, and China. This is what he's doing. He did not telegraph that he'd do it exactly this way, which is why markets have fallen so sharply. But really, at the end of the day, the top advisor to President Trump on tariffs is President Trump. Thanks so much for these great questions. Keep them coming, and we'll get to them as soon as we can.